Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. That was such a great tune. I love that. I really like, there's a lot I like about it. I like how it to me, it feels like I'm almost listening to like a, George Shearing tune or like, a Duke Pearson tune. Like it really has a character uh, of some of like the great musicians and composers and players that I've loved. So it takes me to a place that I feel like is really like familiar in a way, but is also very much your own. But also the structure of it, that extension that you did on the last A is super hip. Um, there's a lot in that already that feels like so good. I in some ways I don't want to encourage that you just like tear that thing apart, because it really it feels like a sort of a completed tune. Um, so that said, I also think that it's true that for everything that something is, there's a universe of things that it isn't, right?
Mm.
So it's kind of up to you now to decide, if I were to like have a version 2.0 of this song,
Yeah.
um, what are the things that I'm looking to accomplish with that? What do I want to add to this to make it even better? What are things that I want to edit? What are things that I don't think serve the song or the music as best as they maybe could in that area of the song or whatever? Um, so it's sort of a question that I would pose to you first, like how are you feeling about the song, and what are things that you're looking to do with it?
Um, I'm not entirely sure. Um, I guess yeah, I mean I haven't really played it with anyone else yet. So that could kind of maybe tell me some things that I might want to tweak. Um,
For sure.
but I'm not exactly sure from this at this stage, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's totally a acceptable and honest response. I appreciate that. And I think you're right that some of those things would unfold with playing it with a group. This one sounds like actually it would fit really nicely with the group. Like it sounds like you've already got a bit of an arrangement. Um, Maybe you can start to imagine what you think it would sound like with the group and what some of those directions might be for you for the rest of the band to say like, you know is the bass player walking in four right out the gate, or do the A sections feel like they want to be in two? To me,
Yeah.
they kind of want to be in two, right? That D kind of has that like nice and mellow two feel thing.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe it's worth seeing what it feels like if you just swing it through the whole thing. Um, I think there were a couple kind of left hand things that you had in there. I don't know if those were actually part of the arrangement or just sort of how you interpreted them in the moment, especially that first statement of the melody.
Mhm.
That could be worth trying to think about if you envision that being part of the arrangement, something that you would put in front of the bass player.
Yeah.
Um, Something to try. And it's true. I think a lot of things are gonna just sort of the answers will come naturally from playing this. You can break down all of the elements of the song essentially, and just take one thing after another and really look at it and say, okay, this is my melody statement. This is my motif, and then this is how I resolve that motif. Does that feel right to me, or is there something else I can explore? Maybe
Mm.
this motif wants to resolve a different way. Maybe the resolution is actually getting more to what I like. So if this is kind of more the character of what I'm after, maybe I got to get rid of this first motif and find a way to meld something into this resolution. Does that make
Mm.
sense? Something to try. That really hip thing you're doing at the end with all those kind of moving harmonic uh, home bases, as I would call them, like moving the ear from place to place. Maybe just sit down with that and say maybe that's the tune. I'm not saying it is. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
these are the elements of the song, and really just sort of looking at each of them and what is the music asking of you when you actually break down each one of those things. So it really is sort of a dedication to the work of clarity, honesty, and listening to records that will also feed all of these sort of questions of like, how can I make this tune better and what can I do right now? It's part of that's just going to be the process. You know?
Yeah.
But it's a really great tune. I love it. I'm almost like, man, I want to play that tune. I have to transcribe your tune. Yeah. So, what about from a sort of a playing standpoint? How did you feel about that performance, and maybe just in general, sort of what are things that you're trying to get after in your playing?
Yeah, well, I mean, just now I felt like I was kind of, I wasn't really taking a break. There wasn't a lot of space. But I mean, I think the whole being online, like recording thing, it makes me feel really in my head a lot of the time. So I won't be as relaxed, I guess, or spacious.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I definitely relate to that. You're preaching to the choir on that one. But what's great about how you phrased that is, to me, the answer lies within the question. You know, you already know what it is that you would like to implement. You know, it's like, man, how do I play with more space? Play with more space, right? Like the answer is already there. So it's like,
Right.
okay, now I have the objective. Like I know that because of all of these external factors, uh, I tend to overplay or just sort of like go on this sort of uh,
Yeah.
regurgitating information mode, whatever it is. So my purpose for this time is to see if I can sort of halt that. Maybe see if I can add more space. So
Yeah.
the good thing is you kind of see clearly like what it is you're trying to get after in that. So ain't nothing to it but to do it on that one.